back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tiara Cherie. I'm an inner healing coach, a published author, and a beautypreneur. And today I want to talk about your self-worth. But before we get into self-worth, I want us to discuss our born identity. And the reason why I want to talk about this topic, born identity, is because when we are going through hurts and traumas and things that we have had to endure in our lives, sometimes we lose a sense of self. Sometimes we lose our own identity. We don't really understand who we are because we seem to become something that we had experienced, right? Some of those things shape us and mold us, and some of those things either build our character or break our character. So I want to talk about this today, and I'm going to be tying in my book, Beauty versus the Beast in Me, Mastering My Own Demons. And in this chapter, it's born identity. So I want to start to offer some clarity and understanding for you to implement and be able to navigate in your life with your identity being intact, you understanding who you are, you understanding who you were created to be, and you are walking in your self-worth. Okay, so let's get into it, right? I'm going to read just a couple of sentences from my chapter, Born Identity. And I'm going to share with you a scripture verse that I applied as a reference and that supports my context, right? All right, so I'm going to read from Genesis chapter 1, verses 26. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the beasts, and over all of the earth, and over every serpent that moves upon the earth." So I want us to focus on the key verse, or the key context. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness," right? So, this is good, right? When we go through things in life, sometimes we forget that we are made in the image and likeness of God Himself. We lose our sense of self. We lose our identity in the things that we have been entertaining. Relationships, just think about it, ladies. How many of you, me included, have lost a sense of identity in relationships because we wanted to fit the idea of what someone's expectations of us was. We wanted to fit the idea that we would be this person that would please satisfy our partner at the time, in our relationships. We have tried to fit the mold of who they wanted us to be. Meanwhile, we lose a sense of self by people pleasing. And we don't just do this in our intimate relationships with men. We do this in our relationships sometimes with girlfriends. I know that I've been guilty of that, because I have had experiences with girlfriends where I always felt that I had to minimize and downplay my greatness and downplay who I am, my personality, my character, my charisma, all that I am, because someone else was uncomfortable with me. They were uncomfortable with, just who I was as a woman, right? And so I started to become like them, or not even so much like them, but I would minimize and, just downplay certain things about myself just to keep everything even keel, and that did a disservice to myself. So I just wanted to bring that point, that sometimes you do it in your friendships, your family dynamics, and you also do it in your intimate relationships. So I just want you to keep that in mind, right? But I'm going to read right now. It says, "We tend to forget who we are when we go through a whirlwind of life. We tend to forget that we have the power to move any and everything out of our lives that we don't want to take place. We tend to forget because of the way people make us feel about ourselves and what they say about us based on the experiences that they had with us. We tend to believe that what other people say matters as if they have the final say. Hello. We tend to take on the image and likeness of this world by acting out as different characters, showing different personalities, and displaying behaviors that are unlike what the Spirit of God has placed inside of us. We compromise on so many levels just to fit in and be just like the world when we were not called to be like them, but to be separated. Why? Why? It is not because we are better than they are, but it is so that we can live by the examples that God has taught us. And so, before I get too deep in this, I just want to stop right there because that is a good stopping point. All of what I said is basically we compromise who we are, moral standards, values. We compromise our own identity, our own self-worth. We compromise on every level, right? Because we are insecure about who we really are. We feel like if we be who God created us to be, which is in his likeness and image, then it's going to draw some people away from us. Let's keep it real. If we stepped into the true identity of who we really are, who we were created and called to be, who we were destined to be, predestined to be before we were in our mother's womb. Come on now. If we were who we were called to be by God, think about how many people that will fall out of your life and fall right off, fall by the wayside, however you want to see it. Think about all those people that will say, you know what? I like the old version of you. I don't really like who you are today. I don't like, who you had designed to be, who you desired to become. I don't like who you are now. I don't like where you're going with this. How many would fall off if you stepped into your true identity? Your relationships would flop. Yep, because you would have the confidence and the boldness to be who you were created to be. You know who you are. You have self-awareness. You have self-value. And some people will be uncomfortable with that. They simply are comfortable with you not knowing who you are so that they can continue to manipulate, control, demand, leverage, compete with you. And I'm telling you, once you understand who you are, understand your identity, and increase your self-worth, you may stand alone for a bit until you attract the right people into your circle, but you are going to feel so empowered knowing that you did what was best for you and that you were removing those toxic people, connections, relationships, and experiences from your life. And I want to share this quickly, that oftentimes we forget who we are because we have a lot of emotional trauma stemming from childhood, trauma stemming from relationships in our adulthood. And sometimes we've been through so much childhood trauma that we weren't cultivated by our parents, right? They didn't speak life into us and shape us and, help cultivate us, like I said, and who we desired to be and who they saw in us that they wanted to bring out of us. And so we were navigating in life, not knowing, like, hey, should I be this person? Should I be that person? Hey, I like this image. I like this persona. I like the way this is being marketed to me and this being shown to me, and I want to see how this person is over here and that person is over there. You get my point. We do this on social media. We do this when we're watching music videos. We do this when we are looking at entertainment and people that we aspire to be, or that inspire us, period. And sometimes when we don't know who we are and we don't stand in our boldness, we become other people and we lose our identity. So I want to just make you aware of that so that you can begin to make the necessary improvements, adjustments in your life so that you can walk in the woman that God created you to be, according to Genesis 1:26, that he created you in his likeness and image. So I want to share with you a couple of reminders. You could call them affirmations, positive words, life-producing words that will help increase your awareness of self. All right? I love myself for being just the way that I am. I'm created in the likeness and image of God. Therefore, I am more than enough. Let's go. I am worthy of love, joy, and happiness. I attract unadulterated love into my life. Today, I will not allow anyone or anything to block me from giving or receiving love into my life. I create the space in my heart for healing. Therefore, I allow love to flow abundantly and freely into my life. These are powerful, powerful affirmations. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. My imperfections are a part of me. Therefore, I accept myself. I am valuable, and I will treat myself with the utmost care, respect, and honor. Hello. I am worthy of all things divinely good. My mind, body, and spirit are important to me. Therefore, my spiritual and physical wellness is my top priority. I attract love and light into my life, which guides my path. I am proud of myself and all of my accomplishments. That's important. I love myself. Therefore, I think and speak kind words to myself and others. I love myself. Therefore, I release forgiveness in my life of anything I've said or done that has caused hurt or offense to others. My life is filled with harmony, good vibration, and balance. I love myself enough to let go of people and things that doesn't serve my highest good. A few more. I trust my inner voice and intuition to show me the way. I let go of self-sabotage and embrace positive change. I am filled with the divine power to create the life I am intended to live. I recover from difficulties with grace and faith. Ooh, that's good. I love who I am at this moment, as well as the woman I'm becoming. My self-love, self-image, and self-worth are positively increasing each day. I am transforming into someone who positively influences others. I am filled with divine wisdom and guided by discernment to make the right decisions and choices for my life. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise, and I live an abundant life now. Now, you all know that I'm always declaring I am living an abundant life now, overflowing in all areas of my life for the betterment of my life. Yes, I believe and I receive it now. You know, that's my favorite declaration that God has put in my spirit that I've been speaking over my life. But I wanted to share that with you, and that was the last one that I wanted to read. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise, and I live an abundant life now. So, in this lesson, I learned that I am worthy. I am worthy of who God says that I am. I'm worthy of what God has said that I can have. I'm worthy of love, happiness, peace, joy, abundance, health, wealth, prosperity, right? I'm worthy of all of those things. I'm worthy of the desires of my heart. And I believe now who God says I am. So it doesn't matter what I go through. It doesn't matter what I have to grow through. It doesn't matter what I'm experiencing. It's not going to define me. It's not going to change me unless it's for the better. It's not going to dictate me. It isn't going to allow me to lose my identity. I stand firm in who I am. no matter the storm, no matter how I move, sway, no matter how I get knocked down, no matter how I have to start all over again, I still know who I am. In the worst of days, I still know who I am. And so I want to encourage you before I end this video. I want to encourage you, no matter what you go through, no matter how hard life gets, no matter how you have to suffer and go through pains and go through disappointments and go through the ebb and flows of life, as we just talked about in the last video or the video before. My point is, no matter what it is that you are growing through, know who you are. It doesn't change. So when people say, well, you're this, you're that, you changed, you act this way, you're not this, you're not that, they start to speak word curses over you and speak into your life as though they know who you were created to be. No, that was their experience and their perception of you, but it doesn't mean it's your reality. Stand firm in who God created you to be and continue to become the woman that you desire to see when you look at yourself in the mirror. I hope this message is a seed that is planted on good ground, and I hope you can implement some of these affirmation declarations that I released to you in this video, and I hope you walk away with confidence, boldness, and your own identity, your own born identity of who you were created to be before the foundations of the world. Until next time, you all be well. Thanks for watching.